There's a very famous quote that goes, "Is it better to speak or to die?" And the first time I watched Call Me by Your Name, I did not get the meaning of this quote. Is it better to speak or to die? I thought it was, in a way, stupid as a question because, of course, the right answer was always going to be speak. Because death, I felt like it was not um, a path that you could walk, all right? And of course, it's a metaphorical death, but it implies a spiritual death, right? And I think when it was my turn to decide whether to speak or to die, I tried to be in the middle. I tried to die a little, but also speak a little, okay? That is where my writing comes from. In a broader sense, I'm not trying to die, so I'm trying to speak. But I'm not brave enough to give voice to what I think, so I write. So writing is an exercise of hiding as much as it is a showcasing of my vulnerability, which apparently I do not show often, according to my friends. So the decision to speak implies death, but it's not the type of death that keeps dying. It's the type of death that might grant you new life. But here again, speaking is almost like a branched path. There is death and death after death, right? So you speak, and then you do not get answers, or you're not happy with the answer. And so you died because you spoke, and then you decide to die a little bit more because you have nothing else to live for now that you've spoken. And then there is the path where you speak and you die a little bit because you spoke, of course, and that meant that the vast sea of possibilities that you had in front of you automatically ceases to exist. And then there's life after death, which means taking the bones and taking the hurt and taking the rotten and bringing it with you in this new path. And what is after death and what is after life? It's something that you shape, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out, okay? And here's the thing. Speaking has been perhaps the bravest act that I've ever done, right? But speaking also means that you have to face reality, all right? And that all of my truths slowly crumbled. When it comes to love, the thing I lately don't understand is how do people do it? Because when I was little, as any person perhaps on this earth, I thought it was easy. Love was something you threw yourself into without a second thought. And my impulsivity was perfect for loving because I felt like I have so much love to give. I felt like I had this surplus of life I wanted to share with someone else. But then I realized it is not at all that way. And that death in Is It Better to Speak or to Die, which means not speaking, cultivates love, makes it grow, nurtures it. And so all of the things that I had built my life around are not true anymore. Not that most of them are false, but they're simply not true. They simply do not exist the way I want them to exist. And this is quite excruciating for me, and I've been reproaching myself for having had this blind faith. Because living with this idea that, yes, at some point stuff will eventually happen has led me to a process of decision making that has made me die in a little way. And I'm saying it with a smile, but there's a lot of anger. But with that anger comes a lot of softness because I see in myself the simple desire that I had when I was little and the fear. So here's the thing I realize about love in general, that I'm slowly realizing that I'm so scared of it. Wow, guys, like, how do you even do it? And that if I choose to speak, it means I have to die. And this death is not pleasant, but there is life after speaking, and there is life after death. Um, and so I'm trying to look for that life. I have this positive outlook I wanted to share with you today. And I don't know, I've always thought that it would be different when I spoke, but also I cannot imagine it going any other way. It's just that now a shapeless, somewhat luminous future lies before me, and it's up to me to just like grab and get a hold of it. So it's all about reaching. Goodbye.